Hello, everyone, and welcome to Probably Something. I'm your host, Georgia, community manager at LayerX, and I'm super excited to have you back with us. So, this podcast is all about growth, innovation, and exploring diverse perspectives. So, from some of the leading voices and projects out there. And today we're diving into the base ecosystem in Web3. So, before we start with our amazing guests, allow me to tell you what we do at LayerX. So, LayerX is a builder hub that connects developers and organizations through hackathons on the Taikai platform and task-based work at Bipro. So, enough about me. I'd love to hear a bit about your journeys, your Web3 journeys. So, Pedro, what led you to blockchain and Web3? And I would like to know if was there a particular moment or experience that made you realize that this is where you wanted to build your career.
All right. Great to be here. Probably something. And I wanted to just debate a bit on the question because I don't see myself working in the space, as in Web3 or on chain. I've been building in the talent space or HR technology space for over a decade now. I know Mario from previous battles, previous lives. And the reason I came into crypto wasn't for crypto itself, it was for blockchain. Blockchain, as in a way to make sure data can be verified, portable, is interoperable. Just the native baseline of what a blockchain is, and why I came to this conclusion, why this technology was important for the industry I want to work on and keep working on. Is because in my previous business, which was a tech recruitment marketplace, we placed thousands of people in from all over the world or working remotely, and basically there was always like a lot of effort, a lot of work, and sometimes not ideal work or effective work being done around data, verifying um, builders and talent, if they are who they are. And I could tell you horror stories when it comes to recruitment, just based on the fact that the data we were working with wasn't a good one. Was either very fragmented or bad data. So we came with a problem. Um, we thought blockchain was the solution, and it was. But then we found what we nowadays call the on-chain economy, and we realized, oh, this is creating a new interesting, very relevant data points. Like for instance, Taikai, Ecker NFTs. I'm not sure, but I think you guys have different data points, and we integrate them into Talent Protocol. So we realized there's this new work economy being built on chain, and that's really interesting because actually it makes our life easier in the sense that it's already on chain, so it's easier, it's already verified, it's already reputable data. um, to top it off, we understood that, well, maybe we can launch our own token, it's called Talent, to create the right incentives for people to help us improve our data. So in the end, we're building a data business to change the HR tech industry. So I came for the tech, I stayed for the crypto. I'm still working on that part, by the way. And I mean, AI, we also use that a lot. We have our own AI agent. So look, we're a data business trying to change from the bottom up an industry, which is HR tech. And because we're building an open product with Talent Protocol, we actually realized that there's people using our data, using the talent data to build the most weird products, like whether it's under collateralized loans or gating events with one new data primitive we created, which is the builder score. So it's it has been a fantastic world to build in. But I still see myself as the talent guy in a way. Does that make any sense? Actually, I think it's the first time I voiced it this way.
I think it does
Yeah,
actually.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's, you're just scratching the surface, right? Because most likely, most of the data that we have today will be on chain in the future, right? We're still, very early on that, and we still have very few data points on chain. And you're also, pushing people to start to deploy that on chain. But eventually, your job will become easier, right? And your job of
Hopefully,
having
yes.
all of these data will become much more, granular, much more transparent, and I think that's what people that are looking for talent want to see at the end of the day.
There's another point there, which is we try to be as web agnostic as possible. What does it mean? We believe in the on-chain economy, otherwise we wouldn't be here. We also believe that we can bring data points from Web 2, like GitHub, and other like gated platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter and others. Uh, some of those data points, builders and talent will want them to be on chain, and to prove that they worked on it or they had anything to do that. So also Web 1, I mean, static data can be relevant, and there's still a lot of sites they're not gated at all. And there's the Web 0, which is more like a lot of the data related to talent lives in our brains. There's a reason why most of the best hires are still made with referrals. Um, People that we trust, people that we believe in, people that we know. But this information doesn't live anywhere, and we're trying to bring that one on chain. That's the hardest one, but probably the most interesting
Yeah.
one, to bring on chain that one straight from Web 0 to Web 3. So yeah, just wanted to drop that note because it's really web agnostic in that sense, and we're just trying to build like a massive data business where like whenever someone thinks about talent, they know they gotta come to our protocol and check it out. So we gotta have huge amounts of data, but also verified data, data from reputable sources, and that's our job as a team to make sure they come from places like Taikai, LayerX, B Pro. Like those are reputable sources of data.
That's amazing, actually. And thank you for this introduction. I think it also really helped me understand better what Talent Protocol does in general. So, Mario, could you give us a quick introduction about where your Web3 journey and maybe share what excites you about leading LayerX?
Sure. Yeah, so my Web3 journey actually started when I was working at an investment bank. Back then, there was this new thing called crypto in 2015, or at least new to me. I wanted to explore it a little bit further. And unlike Pedro, I actually went in through the crypto rabbit hole and then stayed for the tech. So I'm more of a business guy, economics guy. So, things that have economic value are the things that fascinate me the most. But then I found out that, the blockchain tech is actually pretty useful, not just for crypto alone, but for many other businesses. So back in the day, I had two options. One was to try to convince the bank to have crypto for their clients. I tried that for a very little time, and then I left because if I stayed, I would still, be trying to force that battle. And I thought that maybe the road that I should take should be a little bit different and should be more focused on myself, creating community around this, That's when it all started. Started to gather a bunch of pretty clever and intelligent people that were building stuff in Portugal, but also abroad, related with crypto. And that led me into thinking, okay, maybe what could be a cool thing to have would be a platform that could be a bridge between all of these great minds and innovators and builders and the organizations that are seeking this talent and that are seeking this innovation. So that's the reason behind LayerX and specifically Taikai, our first product, our Web3 hackathon product, was specifically towards that. So building a bridge between these two, but more than just building a hackathon platform, building something that could also have the Web3 values and principles into it. And that's why we created the platform with voting mechanism that was on chain, with rewards that were also transparent and based on the results that were generated by the hackathons. So all of these things were things that excited me into building Taikai, and that still excites me. After 6 years of this journey, I think there's still plenty to do, and I still think that my job hasn't finished. So I'm still engaged on bringing more people, more builders into using our products and into creating innovation in the future of tech.
Still there one.
Yes.
I have to say that I'm really happy that I support you in this journey and I'm part of the LayerX team. So, talking about platform for developers, and I want to shift the gears towards base, let's say. So, what makes it a compelling platform for developers to build on, Pedro? And maybe what unique opportunities does it offer compared to other L2s?
So just some context here. So actually, me and Mario, we are both Base global builders for representing Portugal. There's Base global builders all over the world, and it's a pleasure to represent a brand that, to your question, I think Base the way they build things is very optimistic, very doing the right things and always supporting the builders first. I think they got that right compared to other chains. And if you go to base.org, you can see that everything that is in there is to builders. Like, you want to develop, go. You want some small grants to begin with, here's some pointers. Meetups, when are those happening? Whether it's Base Global Builders or attend an X office hours on Discord or on Gather Town to hear out from Jesse every week. So it just feels that their team, which is growing, is capable of engaging builders in a way that is very hard for other chains to, or has been, it's, let's put it in a positive way, it's, they just do it in a way more engaging and a more based way. And so the other thing that I wanted to bring, and I think this is different mindset, even though they may have some micro grants, if you're really building some cool stuff, they're not like, they're fans of supporting you, but it's more like a show, don't tell approach. So in other chains and in my past, in my experience, they're more about grants, as in, here's some grants, go and do whatever. And well, when you have huge treasuries, then maybe that's not even a concern, you just want to show activity to your token holders, whatever. But here, like with Base, we're building the new on-chain economy. And you don't do those with grants. That's not how you do it. You build it with builders that are engaged, they are focused on building their own stuff. And that's why you've seen Base in just a year and a half. I mean, people forget that Base is just 1 year and a half. Not even a half. It's less than that. And the growth that it has had. Obviously, they have Coinbase distribution that helps, of course. But we don't want to put that growth under one bag. Oh, it's just because they have Coinbase. No, they have an amazing team. They have an amazing group of people, other builders that are not part of the Base team or the Coinbase team that are building on Base and contributing to the Base ecosystem. Whether it's creating artwork, whether it's building cool apps, whether it's bringing apps into their existing apps into the ecosystem. This is what happened recently with Taikai. So it just feels like a place where everybody is welcome, but show, don't tell, and this makes it so real. And for people like me, that I'm like that, I mean, don't tell me what you're capable of, let me see the data, and this feels so comes close to home for me, because due to my previous pain in my previous business, the fact that I'm investing in this HR tech industry, to see an ecosystem being built this way, it just feels that I'm at home. And yeah, besides that, it's great distribution for any platform, any app, any creator coming on board. It's just great distribution. I think the Base team goes above and beyond to really highlight projects that are cool and that contribute to building this new on-chain economy.
I think the quote "show don't tell" will be a tweet in the next hours. I have to say that. Amazing, Mario.
It should.
What's your perspective on it?
Yeah, so I take Pedro's words and make it my own, because as you know, Georgia, we've been interacting with other blockchains in the past. I would say that the old playbook of blockchains was exactly that, just pouring money into projects and seeing what came out of it. But money is helpful, and I'm not saying it's not. But pouring money into a project doesn't make that project flourish, because sometimes people are building the right thing, but sometimes, or most of the time, they're building the wrong thing, right? So just delivering money and taking off the equation people that are just taking advantage of grants and all of that to not build anything, but just to enrich themselves. Just focusing on the serious builders. Most of the times people don't know how to build. Myself, I had an extensive experience on helping other startups before creating my own. Pedro also had a startup before creating Talent. So we know how to navigate startup waters, let's put it that way. But most of builders, are devs that have zero experience on how to build a business or a project. And my point here is that, what I felt from Base was exactly the don't show or show, don't tell situation. But more than that, they still help you and support you along the way, even if it's not with money. So what I feel is that, okay, what do you need? Do you need a wallet integration? Do you need a connection with X, Y, and Z project from our ecosystem? It really depends on what are your needs. And this help is tailored to you. So that makes, their projects more successful. And now we're seeing the results of that. 1 year and a half later, we're seeing a lot of projects that are very serious, very mature, because they had this help. And from my understanding, I think that, Coinbase being behind Base was something that helped in the start. But now nobody cares about that, right? Now people see Base, as the go-to place to build projects, and independently of having Coinbase or not, right? Because you're seeing also Inc. Being created, which is from the Kraken team. Will they be able to replicate this movement that happened within Base? We don't know. But Base is already there, right? And there are already builders using that. And for me, it's something that will stick. It's something that will only grow from here. And yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of the Base ecosystem now more than ever. I was already, but as a watcher, someone that was on the sidelines. Now being inside and having projects being built on Base, it's something that I can see better why Base is something that will remain very interesting in the future.
Just a quick point on Inc. I hope Inc. has a lot of success because they're also part of the super chain. And something like on top of everything we just said, Base is also building on Ethereum using the OP stack, the optimism stack, and is part of the super chain. So I think Base is now the biggest contributor in terms of revenue for the super chain. And that's good. I mean, we want to have more bases like type of ecosystem. So I do wish the best for Inc. Now, focusing on Base, some things that they got right in terms of economy was being, for instance, the place in Ethereum where meme coins happen. Just an example, because this brings a lot of attention, a lot of retail, a lot of liquidity. And liquidity is utility in some products more than others, especially in DeFi products. Aerodrome is making big moves, being this MetaDex approach that came from, I believe they came from Velodrome, which is on Optimism. And
Yes.
this new approach, so you just feel like on Base, the next wave of tech is happening. You have Aerodrome, you have Moonwell, you have Morpho, you have Taikai, Talent Protocol. So you're starting having utility, like this utility base coins beyond meme coins. And we could argue like meme coins, they also have utility where it can be cultural utility, and liquidity utility as well. It's bringing liquidity in, and so I look at this ecosystem as like it's good and bad because we are the number one within if, and sometimes I prefer to be number 2 or 3 so that we can beat the number one. So we have to find another competitor, but in a good way, because we want everybody to win in the on-chain world, which is kind of like Solana. And I see very much like Base competing with Solana in terms of like doing cool stuff for consumers, doing cool stuff for creators, doing cool stuff for builders. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to drop that one.
Amazing. Thanks for highlighting those unique opportunities about Base to both of you. And I think that it's clear that Base is carving out a strong position among other L2s with its developer-friendly approach. And speaking of building connections, I'd like to shift the focus to the community side of things, because some days ago we had the first Base Porto meetup. And I have to admit that it was a big moment for connecting with the local community. And because unfortunately I wasn't there, I want to ask you, how was the vibe at the event, and what's your take on the sentiment of the Portuguese ecosystem towards Base? Do you see strong potential for adoption and growth in this region? Mario?
Yeah. Well, myself, I was glad, to host that event, because I felt like I was coming back to, the old days of crypto, at least for me, like 2017, 2018, when I organized meetups, and I had, all of these interesting people coming to the events. In this case, this is what I felt, because most of them were the same people that came in 2017 and 2018 and actually built projects. So people that were there were these Portuguese OGs that actually made successful projects and that were interested to learn more about Base. This was pretty cool. So the vibes for me were great. Of course, as an organizer, I'm a little bit more biased, but I think we were able to capture the old essence of crypto native people, and also some new people that were joining and that were learning about the Base ecosystem. So for me, it was great. And on that note, I also did a provocation of having a Base Braga meetup, spreading the word on different cities in Portugal, so that it's not the major cities like Porto or Lisbon. So I'm also going to do the same provocation to you, Georgia. If you want to do a Greece meetup, like an Athens Base meetup, I think that would be amazing as well.
For sure, it would be. For sure. Amazing. Did you enjoy the base meetup?
Yeah, it was amazing. First Porto-based meetup. I always like enjoy my trips to Porto and meet up with really cool builders in the north of Portugal. And I think Mario did a great job in terms of distribution, getting them interested. But also, it's because it's based and they were interesting to know more. So I saw a lot of energy. Um, After the meetup, we had other people asking like, when's the next one? So that's good, and people wanting to organize more. That's amazing, because that's how it needs to be a grassroots community kind of thing, and I think that's how Base is going to grow in Portugal. Not so much on crypto adoption, because that's more of an European issue with uh, adopting crypto. It doesn't feel so natural for Europeans because we don't need it as much as in other regions, like in the global south. But from a builder perspective, there's really interesting challenges in the space. And when I say in the space, just take a look at both our projects. Both of them are using blockchain, crypto, and AI. So it's starting to be tech agnostic. It's just building this on-chain economy. So I was very happy to see that. I think there's still work to do, especially with more projects that have already been building in crypto, to take the same approach that me and Mario have, which is the show don't tell. Um, don't tell me what you're gonna do. Don't expect me to give you a grant or anything. Just do it, and good things will come. Be optimistic about it. Build the right thing. Be relentless, and good things will come. And this doesn't happen from night to day. Nothing ever does. So yeah, that would be my main feedback slash advice for anyone joining the space. Like, be optimistic, be relentless, build the right thing, keep going, keep building.
Amazing. So, looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of the base ecosystem, Pedro? And do you think that there are any specific developments or opportunities you already kind of shared that you see shaping its evolution in the coming years?
Yeah, it's the exciting part is that it still pretty much feels like day one. So as I said, it's like one of the youngest chains out there, and there's so much to be built. And it's such a great team to build it with. And team, let's put it like teams, because we're building cool stuff with Taikai, Moonwell, Aerodrome. So it's not about just the base team, a centralized effort building with the base team. It's about the other teams as well, building with Zora as well. So very excited about this collective contribution from builders building different stuff and working with each other. So I'm definitely excited about that in terms of Base ecosystem future, um, regardless of existing a token in the future. So just throwing that out there because it's a common question. In terms of specific opportunities in the coming years, I think anyone joining Base ecosystem now, it's still early, so it's more about, if you're thinking about it, just come to the next. If you're in Portugal or Greece, I think there's a Greece builders based builders group over there. But wherever you are, there's probably someone already building on base. Talk to them. Try to talk to them, or try to come on base events, online, offline as well, and just get started, because it's still day one. So I think that's that's another advice. And because the opportunities just happen organically, so I think the thing is, just put yourself there, so when they come, you're there already.
Yeah, I agree.
Amazing. And Mario, how would you see platforms leveraging base to build stronger connections between talent and opportunities in Web3?
Yeah, I would say that that goes in line with what Pedro just mentioned. So, although it's been a year and a half, so it seems much, but it's not that much, because a lot of interesting things happen on the base ecosystem, but there's still, a lot of opportunities, especially for tech projects and utility projects. So I still feel like there's plenty of evolution to be made over there. So my suggestion would be, for platforms to join the community now, start building on base now, because eventually they will see the fruits of planting those seeds. For example, if we compare with the Solana ecosystem, there's a lot of people that are now migrating from Solana to Base, or at least, having a foot into each ecosystem and seeing how that plays out. I think that's a very good play, to be honest, because, I don't think that we should go back to these religious wars on which tech is the best, because at this point, every tech is good. If it's not, then it's probably already obliterated from the blockchain ecosystem. So it's more of, where the community is, what people want to use and want to see. And for me, at the moment, Base is the place to go. Again, I think that it's completely leveraged on the fact that it's part of the super chain. There will be tons of things happening there that I believe that will help all of the L2s that are building with OB Stack. So as Pedro mentioned, Inc. and probably others will come and will already reap the benefits of having this collective and network of builders. So I think that's something that will definitely improve. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, and I would say again, still day one, as Pedro mentioned. So just join the ship now, start to learn, start to go to events, start to build. More than anything else, start to build, and eventually you'll see the benefits from it.
Amazing.
One quick note on that is that soon, I hope, assets will become interoperable within the super chain, and that's going to be huge for everybody on the super chain. And I totally agree with Marty. That's great builders anywhere. So these chain wars don't make any sense. It's not a war. Even we have a phrase like base Solana, which is base Solana. The connection is there. It exists. Whether it's liquidity flowing between the two, or sharing memes, or whatever. I mean, we can even compete to grow, but the war part is ridiculous. It never really made any sense in my mind, ever. Having said that, yeah, lots of things add, and in our case, we're working with talent and builders, and they're anywhere. So we integrate data from Solana, data from other L2s. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. From LinkedIn, even. So it doesn't really matter.
Amazing. And before we close this space, I would like to ask one question to Pedro. So, what's your builder score?
Let me check. So right now, is 120.
Wow.
which is quite high. Um, it's not the highest one, obviously, because I'm not the best builder around by far. I'm not. In our team, I believe our CTO Lial is the one with highest, which makes sense for
Yeah.
him to be. It means the score is working. Um, but the couple things there. The way the score works is uncapped because you can always upskill forever, and we're gonna make some changes to the score at the protocol level. Um, Couple things there, which is one, allow anyone to or position the protocol to allow anyone to build up their own scores, whether it's a project, a community, it doesn't matter. Aggregating data, creating their formula, creating their scores. And we're also going to make an update to the builder score, which is still kind of like our kind of like the star of Talent Protocol, is is the data point that a lot of people like to use. And we're going to make an upgrade to that one. But the key point with the builder score in particular is to always fine tune it to obviously be aligned with the Talent Protocol changes and updates, but fine tune it to really understand who's the best builder, like who's not a builder, who's the best builder, and really surface like the builders. Ideally, one day you just look at someone's builder score, you immediately know what's their shipping capacity. Obviously, you need to go deeper than that, but it's a very good verified data, giving a score to someone is really interesting in an open manner. Like the formula, everything is open and open source in a way. So yeah, 120. It's a good one, but I'm not feeling complacent because with the new changes, probably it's gonna go down a little bit. So I need to go back to the trenches, put on some work. But I already have a few ideas how to uh, get back into my builder game. Coding and doesn't have to be just coding, but coding in particular. It's also a good thing that the builder score, people sometimes they get competitive about it, whether it's within teams or within
Yeah.
groups of people. There's like mine is bigger than yours kind of thing, and it can be good if people feel that as a pressure to build. Then so be it. Like I'm happy about it. But yeah, so it's 120 for now, but I'm not getting complacent.
I would say there's a hack to it, if I may, which is to participate in Taikai's hackathons,
Yeah, it's a
and
good
that
hack.
way, and that way you can actually get more NFTs of participation and increase your score.
You guys are doing if Lisbon?
Yes.
Okay,
So we're
so
still partners
I'm
of
gonna
It
get it.
Lisbon. So yeah.
Okay,
Eventually
cool.
that could be the game changer for you.
Yes, that's definitely gonna increase my score. All
Yeah.
right, cool to know.
By the
Amazing.
way, for all of you that are listening, if you don't have a talent passport, my question is why? Uh, you should be, going to talentprotocol.com already and start building your builder score, because, the sooner you start building your score, the easier it becomes into building up on that, because that will certainly be a very interesting metric for everyone. Um, so yeah, that would be my
Yeah,
recommendation.
and you also have some perks there depending on your builder score. You can
Yes.
access those like a preview subscription for 3 months for free, and a bunch of other stuff. We actually gave away some tickets for DevCon. Sometimes we do some scholarships. Maybe we'll do it for If Lisbon and other events. Let's see.
Amazing. And I have to say that, okay, of course, I'm in some Telegram group chats, among others. And I was seeing people share their talent passport like it's, I don't know, like they're sharing their Instagram or the Twitter and their LinkedIn. And it was a really nice moment for me to observe like how talent protocol is shaping the industry. I really like it.
It's been a long way because Mario knows us since day one, since we joined the space. And yeah, we've iterated, we've pivoted our way to get here. It's been a long road. Okay, so now what you see, it looks like, oh yeah, amazing, but man, lots of
It took a lot of
sweat.
effort.
It's still
Yeah.
day one, still. Don't get me wrong, but there's the day zero behind. That was hard to get from that to where we are. Where we are.
Yeah.
Of course. Amazing. So before we wrap up, any last words that you would like to share that you didn't have the opportunity, maybe?
Well, on my side, I would like to thank Pedro for joining us. I think that we're pretty much aligned on both how on the importance of builders being in this space, on the importance of builders actually having a score and reputable data that allows them, to get better opportunities in the future, and also regarding, base and why it's a good fit for builders as well. So I would like to thank Pedro, and I would like to say again that people that are new to this space, it's not late to join it. I think it's very early still, so I think that you should start building as soon as possible. Start getting all the feedback and all the support that you can get. Myself and Pedro have been helping a lot of projects since forever, so there's always people here to help you on this journey. But again, you have to put the effort in. That without effort, as Pedro mentioned, you don't get anywhere. And yeah, it's been a long journey for both of us, but we're still confident that this will continue to evolve, and the future is definitely based.
Yeah, just from my side, just want to welcome you guys again to the base ecosystem. I think you're going to become a huge player in the space, and we want to be supportive of that. We want to help you guys get there. Let's grow together. And for everybody listening, still day one, keep building or start building and increase your builder score.
Amazing. So that's a wrap for the third episode of Probably Something, Building on Base. A huge thank you to our guests, Pedro, CEO at Talent Protocol, and Mario, CEO and co-founder at LayerX, for joining us and sharing your insights. I really appreciate it. It was great having you both here. And of course, a big thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. We're giving a proof of participation NFT to commemorate this episode. So make sure to claim yours and show off that you were part of this conversation. And you can find the NFT link in our latest tweet and Discord server and Telegram group chat. So thanks again for listening, and we'll catch up in the next episode of Probably Something. Until then, stay curious and keep building. Thank you.